nächstes Programmpunkt ist eine Keynote, die ich sehr, sehr speziell freue. Auch jemand, der gerade zu Corona-Zeiten jetzt in der Schweiz, aber sicher auch in anderen Ländern europaweit auch soll ich sagen, unter Druck gekommen ist, sich sehr, sehr schnell ein bisschen neu erfinden musste und natürlich auch die eine oder andere größere Herausforderung vergegenwärtigen hatte. Sie kennen sicher diesen Spruch auch oder dieses Mimi. Wer ist quasi für die digitale Transformation in der Firma zuständig? Ist es der CEO, ist es der CTO oder ist es Covid-19? Jetzt, wie es bei IKEA war, werden wir sicher dann in den nächsten 20 Minuten erfahren. Ich freue mich auf jeden Fall ganz besonders, dass wir Ann Ström hier begrüßen dürfen, direkt aus Schweden eingeflogen. Und ja, herzlich willkommen hier auf der Bühne. So we quickly switch to English again.
Super.
After JJ, I have a freshly disinfected clicker.
Thank you.
So it's clean, or should be clean at least. And yes, you're going to tell us about the power of people, and you're going to talk about the journey of IKEA and how a pandemic also can have a positive impact on this transformation. I'm going to happy to start your slide, and I'll be here if something goes wrong with it, because we had some minor issues before with the slide deck, but I hope we keep the fingers crossed. Huh?
Thank
Just
you.
a clicker, huh?
Thank you. Okay, so I always say that I'm actually a bit nervous, and it's two reasons, actually three now, because I have too many slides, too much to say. Then technology, you know, when you're at a digital conference and something is not working, everybody's looking at you, you work in digital, you should fix it. Always a bit nervous about that one. And then now, the last one, somebody's drawing something of you of this strange face. Also a bit nervous on if that would happen during this session as well or not. So I'm here to talk about IKEA. And I want to talk about the power of people. And before that, actually, I think you all know IKEA. You will maybe get a bit of intro as well. I just want to share one thing that I thought about this morning when I woke up, because you know people in the world tend to sometimes think Sweden and Switzerland is the same thing. And I just want to share a story. I don't know if you heard it. When another big company from Sweden called Spotify launched on the stock exchange in New York, they actually raised the Swiss flag instead of the Swedish flag. It took them 10 minutes to realize it was the wrong flag. So happy to be here. I'm not from Switzerland, but from Sweden, but I think you know the difference. So I will talk about power of people, and I think we talked a bit about that in some of the other, from the beginning on JJ, because he said it's all about the people, and for me, people is customer and coworker. Because it's all about that. That's where it starts to change, right? We used to think within IKEA as well that we could steer the customer. They should come to us. Then we decide. That's not the reality anymore, right? Because it's the customer in the lead. We need to be where the customer wants us to be. And then, of course, the second big thing is the coworkers. It's a big mindset shift. And thinking digital is really what will take time. And we cannot underestimate that you really need to think in a completely different way. So starting with, I just want to share, this is what most of the IKEA co-workers think about, maybe not daily, but quite often, because that's really what we want to do. We want to create a better everyday life for the many people, and that, of course, involves we need to be where the people want us to be. And that I want to share a film. Let's see if we can start that one. Maybe clicking here. Now I'm a bit nervous, but let's see.
The world is changing fast, and so are we. Right now, we're accelerating the biggest transformation in IKEA history. IKEA now comes in different sizes. We want to be closer to where people live, work, and socialize. That's why we're creating a new world of IKEA in the cities. At the same time, we give our blue box stores a dual purpose. Not only are they a place for home furnishing inspiration and knowledge, they are now also a part of a home delivery network. This means faster, more affordable, and more sustainable deliveries than ever before. Already today, 100% of last-mile deliveries in Shanghai are made by electric trucks, with many more cities to follow. At Inca Group, we believe in leading by example, and our values, size, and financial strength give us an opportunity to grow a sustainable business. We've invested heavily in sustainable power sources, and in 2020, we will reach a new milestone as we will generate more renewable energy than the energy we consume in our own operations. We are committed to offer more sustainable solutions that enable more people to live better everyday lives within the limits of the planet. Equality is part of our DNA, and we have achieved our goal of gender balance across all leadership positions. Half of our leaders are women. We also have a clear goal to achieve gender equal pay globally by the end of 2021. A rainbow version of our iconic blue bag was released this year in 21 countries as a symbol of our belief that everyone has the right to feel at home, no matter who they are or who they love. This is just the beginning of a new everyday reality for us. Changes will continue to accelerate. No one can predict the future, but we'll make sure that we are a part of it.
Thanks. Okay, so that was a bit background about IKEA. So of course, to make this happen, we need to have good digital solutions. And to be honest with you, we are late. We have been late because we underestimated the revolution of digital and the revolution of shopping online. And I can just emphasize what's been shared before. You need to have the management with you. And 2 years ago, we hired a digital officer who is now part of the IKEA or Inca management. So it's really a mindset shift that digital is in the core. But we are late. But we're trying to speed things up. And I can tell you, Corona was supporting us a bit in that one. So if we move on. Okay, so digital transformation. We already talked about putting the customer in the center. We also need to focus on I will come to that, but the O2O, so the online to offline and offline to online. And I think that's also something we're late in. Either we say it's an online journey or it's an in-store journey. And of course, we've preferred the in-store journey. Now we need to understand it's a totality journey. You can start browsing on Pinterest, then you can continue to our website, you can shop or plan, and then you go to the store and you expect that journey to be seamless. We have some things to do there, but we're targeting it and we're working on it. Then we also focus a bit on OKRs. So going from KPI driven, something that you can tweak just to fulfill the KPI. Now we go to what's the objective that we want to reach and what are the key results to reach it. Totally kind of mindset shift as well. And then, of course, working agile, working with MVPs. I didn't bring that slide, but I have a great example. You want the sports car in the end, but you start with a skateboard, so you can start to use it from the beginning. Then you can transform it, but you can start to use it, even if it's not a sports car. Instead of building your normal car, you cannot use it before it's done. That kind of mindset shift. And also then, of course, we moved into product-oriented, so we have so many digital products now on a central level. And also working on outcome instead of output. So the output is more, you asked for a payment solution, I gave you one. If it doesn't work, it's not my issue. Now digital is really an outcome. If it's working or not, it's our responsibility as well. So that's also a mindset shift. Then, of course, working cross-functional. It's not digital as a isolated island. It's all the teams, the product teams need to be cross-functional. Then, of course, as I said, the omni-channel, so the O2O. We also did a huge change in taking the knowledge back. So we did insourcing, because we used to outsource all the development. Where is the key knowledge? It's in the development. So we have done a huge transformation of recruiting developers and data scientists within IKEA. And then also building a centralized approach. Before we were quite scattered. Now the countries are part of one IKEA digital unit, so we work on scaling. Sometimes you don't get the perfect solution in the countries, but when you get it, it's much, much quicker. I'll skip those two. Of course, then this came. So we started this huge transformation. And I remember in the beginning we said, how can we support China? You know, it's such a big issue there. Maybe we can sell more in Europe to support them. We were so naive. I think all of us. So then this came. What was the impact? We're in 30 countries. Out of those, we had 6 that kept the stores open and also had click and collect. We had 7 that was in complete shutdown. Not even click and collect. So, and not even online in all countries because the warehouses could not work everywhere. Huge impact. So after that, what happened? What happened in Switzerland? Because I think that's also interesting. So we closed all the stores on the 16th of March. They were closed for almost 2 months, but we had online open. We had a warehouse. But the lead times, as we said before, it's been a big, and still is, a big issue for us. And of course, the customer journey is impacted from that. So what does that mean for digital? So we accelerated transformation. We did things in days and weeks that used to take months and years. We enable coworkers working from home with applications we never knew you could work from home with. We enable customers to shop in a completely new way. I mean, the load of our traffic, the traffic of our sites went up a lot. I think sometimes it doubled, 300% in just a few days. And then also we thought, okay, we are the home furnishing experts. How can we be that remotely, digitally? So we also implemented solutions for that. How was that done then? It's all about the power of people and collaboration. Digital comes in the end. Start simple, but think big. I really like that one. That's what we did as well. We want to do that, but we need to do it today. So it starts with the people. Find the intrapreneur within the company that really supports that drive. Make it happen with simple solution. It can be an Excel file in the beginning. Then we test it and we scale it. We also, of course, it's key to try and fail. We also implemented Failure Fridays. Some of that sharing, what did you do wrong and what did you learn? So it was kind of accepting that everything is not possible from the beginning, but because that's really key, You need to try and fail and learn and keep on trying, and you need to have that kind of culture that's okay. So what does it mean in reality? We increased the remote sales with 400%. We enabled a VPN capacity 10 times more, because all of a sudden everybody needed to work from home. We also made sure that we can have 10 times more e-commerce load on our website. Because let's be honest, we're not Zalando, we were not built for online. We have a huge legacy landscape to take care of. It's not the perfect setup, but we're really transforming. And when you're faced with a crisis, that transformation accelerates. So some examples. Yes, remote working, access to applications. We did click and collect contactless. How can we make sure the customers can come and pick up things without contacting, not having any contact? That was implemented in 4 days. From idea to real, 4 days. I'm telling you, that should have taken weeks, months with our earlier mindset. And we also did some remote planning. You can now remotely plan your kitchen by a session where you share screens instead of going to the store. We have also, of course, the customer counting system. We had 2 days. We need a counting system. How many customers do we have in the stores? And then also additional fulfillment. How do we move our stores when they're closed to be fulfillment units? They need to pack, they need to shift, they need to really support the central warehouse. and this is just a picture of the proud co-workers, safety first, and I can tell you everybody was so happy when we could open up again. Okay, so I would like to end just with some digital teasers, what's coming, some of the things. I would like to say that soon we will have Scan and Go. And I know it's not revolutionary, you know, Coop already have it, other have it, same in Sweden. So when somebody told me like, yeah, but you know, I say we're late. Then I thought, but okay, if we look outside the grocery stores, maybe we're not so late after all. Maybe this will really support the customer journey and also support, you don't have to touch. So it's now being piloted in France. They will roll it out. Today you can only scan. Then you can scan all devices, you see your shopping list, you go to the Echo, that we call it the scan, you know, where you don't need to go to the cashier, you pay and you go out. It's an MVP. And I also need to remind myself it's an MVP thinking, right? Because I said, why don't we have payments? This is not a good solution because we don't have any payment. Yeah, but it's MVP thinking, minimal viable product. Payment will be launched, hopefully in November. So I hope by the time we get it early next year, hopefully in Switzerland, we will have the pay in the app as well. So you can scan, pay, and go. Then, last thing I want to share. Earlier this year, we acquired a startup company called Geomagical Labs. So this is also the omni-channel approach. How can we support the customer in making the decisions? Because that's also one of the key. When you talk to customers now, we have too many decisions. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. How can you help me? This is one of those things, solving that problem. We have now a pilot ongoing in North America. And it's really, you will see a short film, less than 1 minute, I promise. And hopefully that will be scaled, that we can support you in finding the right setting for your room in home furnishing with the help of digital and AI. So let's see if we can start this one. And just to end, before I say thank you, is remember, it's people, digital, together. That's where we make the difference. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Ann. One question I've got I was always wondering about IKEA. Does the IKEA business model, I mean, it's not the whole business model, but I guess it's some important part of the business model, work online? I mean, each time I go to IKEA, I buy what I plan, and I buy a hell lot of what I didn't plan, because it just came across.
That's what we like. That's what we like.
I know you liked it, but how does it work online?
I mean, that was one of the reasons, actually, Ingvar, our founder, wasn't so keen on the online from the beginning. So what we do now is, of course, you had this traditional product recommendation. If you buy this one, you can also go with this one. Also inspiration, working more with Instagram, Pinterest, how can we, inspire? But of course, no, you cannot really, it's not the same upselling. That's correct. It is a challenge.
It's a challenge, huh?
Yeah.
It is. So, I mean, with recommendations, with AI and whatsoever, you can try to come close to it, but most likely you're still a little bit away from having the same success that you're going to have in the local stores. Okay, thank you very much about these insights about digitalization with IKEA, and thank you very much. And again, your applause, please.
Thank you.